Lady Sky here. Let's talk about monsters with our new co-host, Mistress Bird Barella.
Caw, caw.
Now, if I asked you to picture a murderer, what popped into your head? Maybe someone like Dahmer, right? Well, forget all that.
Do I have to forget everything though? Like
everything.
Oh, okay.
All of the things.
All right.
Throw it all out.
All right. So, can you explain to me what a monster is again? I don't remember what that is actually.
We're talking about little monsters actually today.
Oh, little monsters.
Little monsters. Some seemed like monsters from the start, but others were a little better at hiding it. So we'll get into that.
All right. Starting with number 4 on our list of mini monsters. Alyssa Bustamante was born to Michelle Bustamante and Caesar Bustamante on January 28th, 1994 in Missouri.
I feel like I want to mention that his name is Caesar. That's such an odd name.
I mean, there's
in Missouri, Caesar.
Yeah, I didn't see any pictures of him or anything.
I don't know. Let's just continue.
I mean, Bustamante.
Yeah, Bustamante.
Hey. So her mother had an appreciation for driving drunk, smoking weed, and ODing on pills in front of her daughter. Basically, she was busy, so she was in and out of Alyssa's life.
Yeah, busy is a nice way to put it.
Yeah. I couldn't find what his record was, but according to Alyssa, her father had been arrested for, quote, stabbing someone. So he was in prison for felonious assault.
So they all got some interesting hobbies then, the whole family.
Yeah, she just has it in her genes, apparently. So at the age of 7, her grandmother, Karen Brooke, was given custody where she lived with her younger half-sister and twin half-brothers. So, family and friends would describe her as a bright and happy child until about the age of 13.
Yep, that's when it happens.
Puberty hits hard. It hit her really hard and really fast, apparently.
Just knocked her right on over.
Actually, it kind of did. So, in 2007 would mark the first of many suicide attempts. This one was one of the most serious ones. She ate a bunch of pills. They found her passed out in her bathroom. And she was hospitalized at Mid-Missouri Mental Health Center and prescribed Prozac. So let's get to the grit of what made this mini monster so evil. Starting with her YouTube account, which under her hobbies included cutting and killing people.
I mean, everybody's got their hobbies, I guess.
Or just really shitty senses of humor.
I mean, it's, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
So sometimes people foreshadow their own lives.
Yep, it happens.
I was able to find one of the videos Alyssa had originally posted from her now deleted YouTube account. In the video, Alyssa grabs an electric fence, giggling and wincing in pain. Then we see a title card reading, "This is where it gets good. We get to see my brothers get hurt."
That's hilarious.
She has such a
quality entertainment, guys.
Then in the video, her younger twin brothers grab the fence one at a time, giggling and falling over.
God.
Which, in this time frame, kids were making shitty Jackass-style videos, so it doesn't seem so out of place. On Facebook, she seems to have missed the MySpace era, but on Facebook she would post pictures like every other teenage girl with her. She had messy makeup, too much eyeliner.
Oh, yeah.
Like an alternative teenager, and
classic.
Posed with her hand like it was a gun.
Oh, yeah, classic pose there.
But then she also posted pictures of her actual cuts on her wrists and on her stomach. Just self-inflicted. So she also has a Twitter account which is archived now, and some of the posts are
a little disturbing.
One of them is a quote saying, "Bad decisions make great stories."
Really?
Oh.
She did not write that. Are you
I think it's a quote from a song or something.
Okay, yeah, I get that. In
her description, she says, "Music is life. I'm nothing without my friends, and I hate authority."
She absolutely.
The hate has an extra A.
It does.
So.
It has a ha.
Hate. So talk to me. But you know what? There's things she actually does post after the incident we're going to get to. So we'll come back to the Twitter a little bit later. She was just another mid-2000s garbage teenager. But unlike other good-for-nothing teenagers, she wanted to know what it was like to kill somebody. And she often talked about that and told her friends about it.
She told her friends.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to kill someone.
I want to see what it's like to kill someone.
It'd be fun.
I watched an interview from her best friend, actually, or former best friend, and she was like, I just thought she was trying to, be alternative.
Yeah. She was being edgy.
It's so edgy. So in 2009, she dug 2 graves in the woods by her house. She later admits she liked to dig holes.
It's perfectly normal.
Around this time frame, her Prozac dosage was doubled.
Oh.
Which they did try to use this as a defense in the trial.
I don't know much about Prozac, so I can't really speak on that, but
Well, I used to be on Zoloft, and I got a really bad memory, so I would forget to take it, and once I would start taking it again, that's when I would actually get a little violent.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
But I didn't cut anyone, I just tripped a boy and got in trouble for it. Differences. Not great, but still differences. But not much to do in Missouri other than digging holes and cutting yourself, I'm guessing.
Pretty much. So there's just cows out there in Missouri? I don't know.
I'm not actually sure where Missouri is.
I'm not either. I'm not good with geography. I'm glad we're together on this.
Is it is it the same thing as Montana?
It's the same thing. We're
Okay.
just gonna go. Yep.
All the M states, Massachusetts, Maine,
Mississippi,
Missouri. You're all one state.
Yep.
Now.
Sorry.
So on October 21st, 2009, Alyssa skipped school. I imagine she probably skipped school a lot, but this day was different than others. On Alyssa's orders, her little sister, Emma, asked their 9-year-old neighbor, Elizabeth Alston, if she could come out and play.
So she had her little sister go over there and do it
for
her.
Yes. So, again, getting into that premeditated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth's mother told Emma and Elizabeth they only had an hour to play because she was making dinner and she had to be home by 6.
Sounds reasonable.
The 2 girls went to Emma's house and Emma and Elizabeth got stuck in a thorn patch outside of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, but Emma calls for her big sister to help them out. And Alyssa gets them out.
Help them out, all right. Help them right out.
So Alyssa told Emma to go home. And Alyssa told Elizabeth that she wanted to show her something in the woods. She trusted the teenager, and they walked 15 miles into the woods.
Woods?
Yes. Where Alyssa had a pre-dug grave.
Because she liked digging holes.
And maybe she wanted to show her a hole. It's a really impressive one this time.
I did a really good job.
Please come look at my holes.
You can get in the hole even. Check it out.
She's going to, but...
Not in the way that,
So, Alyssa started to strangle Elizabeth, eventually stabbing her 6 times with a kitchen knife that she had brought from home.
Again.
And finally slitting her throat. This is absolutely premeditated. She was thinking at least a week ahead.
God, that's awful. Jesus Lord.
So, flash to Elizabeth's house. Her mother, it's 7 o'clock, and her mother is calling police and reporting her missing because the thing about it is Elizabeth's afraid of the dark.
She's not going to be out after dark.
It went dark at 6:30 at the time, and it was already 7. The police eventually placed an emergency ping, which emergency ping means they're able to see with GPS where the last spots her phone were seen. Mm-hmm. And they saw it at her house, at Emma's house, and in the woods. But they were still unable to find her. So police were investigating Elizabeth's disappearance, and Alyssa became more of a suspect.
Yeah. Due
to her little sister's story changing and revealing that Alyssa had been there when the 2 little girls got stuck in the thorns.
Oh.
They eventually go into Alyssa's room, where they found poems about self-mutilation, because she was a cutter. Mm. They found notes written in blood.
Oh.
They found a drawing of a human shape, very crudely drawn outline with cut marks on the wrists, with the name Emma written next to it.
So, her sister.
Yeah,
her little sister.
Which going back to the 2 graves, they originally think that her twin brothers were the original intended victims.
There are 2. She did. She
dug 2 graves. So.
Oh my god, dude.
Going back to that, they think that she wasn't necessarily going to stop with this one.
I doubt it. She did not seem like she cared too much. She very much enjoyed it.
She only cared about herself and getting some attention.
Oh, for sure.
But they found the most damning piece of evidence, her diary. So, this is the diary entry dated the day Elizabeth went missing. I'm going to read it right now. I'm reading everything verbatim, including the text lingo speak, as you'll find out. I just fucking killed someone. I strangled them and slit their throat and stabbed them. Now they're dead. I don't know how to feel ATM. It was amazing. As soon as you get over that, oh my god, I can't do this right now feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm kind of nervous and shaking right now. Kay, I gotta go to church now. LOL.
That is the most obnoxious confession note I've ever heard in my life.
She had enough common sense to actually mark it all out.
I mean, yeah.
So when they did find that page, there was Sharpie and just ink all over it.
Too bad she didn't have enough sense to realize they could probably still find a way to read it.
Oh, and they do. But they could still read the K, I gotta go to church now.
LOL.
LOL. Which means laugh out loud. I'll let you I'll let you guys know that.
Lords of Lucifer. Let's be honest.
Okay, don't bring Lucifer into this right now. But they brought her in, the FBI brought her in and told her that they had recovered her diary and told her that they had read it. They hadn't at that point, but, just leading her on, kind of. And she finally confessed and brought him to Elizabeth's body, which, when they arrived to it and it was pointed out, it wasn't very well buried. There were body parts hanging out and stuff, but full confession.
I guess she didn't dig the hole good enough.
Maybe the hole was great, but she wasn't great at filling holes. There's
there you go.
Two parts to grave digging.
She's good at the digging.
Just the digging.
All right.
But a law passed around the time. Juveniles are unable to be sentenced to life without parole, as it is deemed
unconstitutional.
Yes, I cannot say that word.
It's fine.
A plea bargain was made on January 10th, 2012, and Alyssa pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and armed criminal action. On February 8th, 2012, she was sentenced to life with possibility of parole, plus 30 years for armed criminal action. She'll have to serve 35 years and 5 months before she is eligible for parole. Alyssa gave a final statement. If I could take my life and bring her back, I would. I just want to say I'm sorry for what happened. I'm so sorry.
Like, OMG.
Oh my god. LOL. Okay, she didn't say those parts, but
it's fine.
Her family...
You could picture it, though.
The victim's family just absolutely did not buy any of it.
Of course.
But let's get to her Twitter. After the incident, her murdering a little girl, she made a tweet. Fuck Nancy Gray. They keep saying all these mean things about me. On December 30th, 2009. Well, Alyssa, people can't say mean things about you if you don't go around murdering little girls.
Yeah.
So...
They probably wouldn't give a
You'd just be another shitty young adult. So she's 22 now, still in jail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, there you go. That's number 4 on our list of terrible mini monsters.
Number 3, Joshua Phillips.
Joshua was born in Jacksonville, Florida on March 17th, 1984, to Steve and Melissa Phillips.
So he's St. Patrick's baby. That's gotta be a good thing, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, drinking, partying, having a good time.
Irish stuff,
All the Irish things. Now, according to most, Josh had a good life growing up. He and his father were close, and they enjoyed spending time together fishing.
Good old American bonding.
Right? According to Josh, though, and his mother, Steve was a controlling and abusive alcoholic and drug addict that beat his wife in front of their son. He also had strict rules. Josh also claims to have walked in and seen his father put his fist through a wall.
Okay, so, some teenage boys... I've known teenage boys to put fists through walls, but...
They love walls.
They sometimes
or hate
grow
walls.
up. I think the issue is they hate walls and they want to punch them. But my question is, did he ever actually beat his son?
Now, see, nobody else says this but his mom.
Okay.
By all other accounts, great life. Now, I don't really know, but it does seem like she's just trying to, like, make excuses.
Yeah, mommy's boy kind of a thing.
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
Now, there's not much else to mention of Josh's earlier years. He had no history of violence, no odd behavior, nothing. So let's fast forward, but keep those allegations from Josh in mind, because they will come into play. Now, on November 3rd, 1998, 8-year-old Maddie Clifton was discovered missing from her home. Police immediately zeroed in on a neighbor named Larry Grissom, who had a bit of a history with the police already. He'd been arrested twice in the past for sexual battery cases. However, those charges had been dropped. In any case, they brought him in and questioned him anyway, having him take that good old lie detector test.
Oh, I know that's your favorite.
It's the best, you guys. You guys know how I feel about that from the last video. Well, he failed. However, he did have an alibi, so police moved on. The police called off the search, but those in the community weren't about to give up looking for Maddie. 400 volunteers, including Josh himself.
So the police, okay, she's 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How did the police already call off the search though?
That's what I'm saying. She wasn't even missing a week.
Okay.
Before she was found eventually by we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Now, everybody searched high and low, including Josh. There was even a reward offered. Initially, it was $50,000, but it was later doubled. Even the FBI got involved. America's Most Wanted covered the story, and flyers were plastered everywhere. But just a week later, the search was finally over. However, the neighborhood wasn't prepared to hear the truth of what happened to little Maddie. On the morning of November 10th, Joshua's mother went to clean Josh's room. A quick side note here. What mom is cleaning their teenage son's room?
You know what? A mom that wants her teenage son's room to actually be clean?
I mean, you've got a point there. You've got a point, but I personally wouldn't want to be in my teenage son's room.
You know what? It smells like spunk.
It smells like death.
Literally. In this case, yes. The smell is permeating throughout the entire house.
There's crusty socks. There's lotion bottles, tissues.
For a normal teenage boy's room, that is. I mean, okay, the smell of death shouldn't be there for a normal teenage room, but
it happens sometimes. Apparently,
spunk gets in the house, and you smell it.
It's everywhere.
I will defend the mother. I will defend all mothers that clean their teenage boys' rooms. But,
yes,
but just. There's my side. I feel like, yeah, so teenage moms want to clean
their... See, I was just raised, if I didn't clean my room, my parents would just be like, I'm going to throw all your shit out.
You don't have spunk, though.
It's true. It's true. All right, so anyway, back to the matter at hand. Josh's mother noticed a wet spot on the floor by Josh's bed. And for some reason thought that was a good idea to go look at that. Check that out.
It could be spunk.
It could very well be spunk. And she checked it out because... Dedicated mom, right there.
She absolutely is. We'll later find out.
Now, believing that Josh's waterbed was leaking, she began inspecting the bed to see how bad the damage was, thinking she may have to drain it.
No teenage boy needs a waterbed.
He's got a lot going on. This teenage boy, we'll find out. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
He enjoyed the waterbed.
Oh God, stop.
What he discovered, what she discovered was worse than leaky bed. I am sorry, she's a lady.
It is a she. It is 98. It's still his mother that is a she lady.
Yeah, we're not, it's, back in the day. Anyway, what she discovered was worse than a leaky bed. She came face to face with the tiny lifeless body of Maddie Clifton.
Oh, and how old was she again?
She was 8. Just 8. She was tiny.
8-year-old? I mean, 8-year-olds are still pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Now, Melissa ran immediately out of her home and across the street, for some reason, to alert police.
You get so turned around, you forget where your phone is, but you remember where your neighbor is.
Just gotta run. To everyone's shock, 14-year-old Joshua Phillips was arrested while he was at school that same morning for the murder of Maddie. No one saw it coming.
Oh, that's what they always say.
They always say it, every time. But this time, there wasn't even warning signs.
Except for the leaky.
The leaky.
I don't want to think about what the leak was.
Right? Gosh. Now, here's where Joshua's allegations about his father come into play. Joshua told police that he and Maddie were playing together. You know.
So he's, 14 at the time?
Yeah.
And he's playing with
An 8-year-old.
Maybe he just didn't
neighbor.
have friends.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. All right. So keep that in mind, though, as well. 8-year-old neighbor he's playing with.
She's close, I guess.
I guess. We'll see. Now, he says that Maddie came over and asked him to play one day while he was home alone. And his dad apparently had forbade him from ever having anyone over, but Joshua agreed. So, he's playing with Maddie, and he supposedly accidentally hits her in the head with a baseball after Maddie throws it to him, and he hits it.
So maybe his dad just didn't want anyone over because he might accidentally hit him with a baseball.
Clumsy child. Clumsy.
Maybe he was just really clumsy.
Accident prone, it happens. It happens. All right. So now Maddie begins bleeding, which causes her to cry.
Yeah, when I bleed, I cry.
Yeah, normal. He then carries her inside to his bedroom.
Not a doctor's office.
Yep, no, not even her mom's house. Just his bedroom. And he lays her on his floor. The same bedroom where he's not allowed to have people in, and he's afraid of being caught by his father. Great logic there. Now, he claims that at this point, Maddie began to cry louder and make other noises because duh.
She's in a weird room and she's been injured and she's scared. I would cry too.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be a little terrified. Now, this is where it completely falls apart. At least for me, the, abused son angle that his mom loves to push. It seems to me she wants to just excuse the bad behavior. Josh proceeded to strangle Maddie with a phone cord. Now, contrary to what you see in the movies, strangling someone is a lot harder than it looks. Joshua sat there with a cord around Maddie's neck for 15 minutes.
That's like half an episode of TV, though.
Exactly. That's a whole Adventure Time episode.
That's how I time everything, by Adventure Time, actually.
Exactly. It's how everything should be. Adventure Time. 15 minutes.
Oh my god.
15. I can't. He sat there and watched her die. Or so he thought. And then just to make sure, he hit her again with a baseball bat. Because, he wanted to make sure it was done.
All right, well, let's go back a little bit. This is when phones still had cords.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like some of our younger viewers might not...
You're right.
It's not a cell phone cord. It's
Nope.
like...
we had phones on our
feel
walls, and they just had cords attached to them.
You couldn't go more than 10 feet away from it.
It was awful.
I feel like we need to, at this point, have a picture of a corded phone.
I will put that in there.
All right.
Corded phone picture, guys, so you guys know what we're talking about. Now,
All right.
he went and stashed her body under his bed.
All right.
And he went downstairs, briefly, to have a quick chat with his dad. Good old dad.
Yeah.
And then he returned to his bedroom while his dad was still home, the abusive dad, and he realized Maddie was still alive. Now,
At this point, he could have just been like, hey, shithole dad, I did something bad.
happen. Yeah.
Please help.
what's worse, an ass beating from your father or jail? Pick one, dude. I'm sorry. Just saying.
All right.
So, he drug her back out from under his bed and stabbed her 11 times with his pocket knife. 11. Satisfied that she was truly dead this time, he stuffed her back under his bed. Now, sometime during this, her pants had been removed.
Did it say where she had been stabbed? Was it just the neck and face?
Yeah.
Okay.
The upper body.
All right.
Now, but her pants had been removed. And there was no sexual assault. It was proven later there was no sexual assault or any sign of that. But in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily mean that something sexual didn't happen. It's quite common in a lot of cases for a murderer to use a murder as a substitute for a sexual act. And in fact, we would learn that after Josh stabbed Maddie and placed her under his bed once more, he finished watching a porn.
Was he halfway? You say finished.
Yeah,
but
it
was
says finished.
So were you halfway in between watching it and you were just like, I'm going to go play
The
with this
sources
8-year-old?
say finished, and I just don't even want to understand that, to be honest. Ooh.
Because I usually just like, I don't even, who finishes,
right?
It's 98, and didn't you have to still download them at the time?
Or watching like a really fuzzy, like channel. Come on, man. What are you doing? All right. So, in the weeks after Maddie disappeared, everyone, this means including Josh, searched for the little girl. While she was under his bed, he ate dinner with the family, went to school, went to sleep on top of her, and pretended everything was normal.
And see, that's the real shame of this. I know we're poking a lot of fun. We're just trying to make fun of this guy.
Yeah, this guy deserves it. This guy's a scumbag.
Because you know what, Maddie's never going to be able to go home.
No.
Maddie's never going to be able to go to school again. She's never going to be able to go to sleep. She's
Never gonna have a life?
not.
Nothing. She's gone.
It's a damn shame that even if you want to look at it from the accident angle, it went
Way further.
It went further than that.
Way further. It's awful. It really is. And so I have no qualms in taking a jab at this dude. Now, he also placed a visiting poster by his bed of her, along with the knife he used to kill her, and the bat. So, nice little setup by his bed. Nice little shrine.
A little shrine,
Little
yeah.
shrine. You know, and he used air freshener to hide the scent. Because, you know, that's something he couldn't ignore. Now, all this Josh claims because he was scared of his father. Excuse me. I just don't see that. You know, my dad, he was a scary dude. He drank, he got loud, a bit angry, you know. And I don't think he ever abused me, but he did scare me quite a bit.
Did he ever punch holes in the wall?
He threw keys and other things.
Okay.
He was a little bit scary.
Men just hate walls.
They really do. It
All
is.
right.
It's a thing. It's a running thing. All right. So, I would never have tried to hide this from my parents. They knew everything I did. They knew when I started smoking. They knew. Okay. So I couldn't imagine hiding a body under my bed and trying to get away with that.
No, you know my mother, and
Yes.
she is actually a wizard.
She just knows.
She knows everything.
Psychic. It's a parent thing, man.
Oh god, this is getting way intense. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, my point is, why cover up something so small
What?
and easily handled with murder? Just straight up gonna kill a kid.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Now, Joshua was charged with first-degree murder, and his trial was held in Polk County, as the amount of media coverage made it impossible to get a fair jury. But it did no good anyway. Josh was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Due to his age, he was not eligible for the death penalty at the time. Now, in 2017, it was determined there would be a resentencing. Due to studies about adolescent brain development and laws that were passed, it has been deemed unlawful to issue blanket sentences to underage offenders. This means that certain cases had to be reopened, including Joshua's. Though the judge was saddened by having to sentence someone as young as Josh to life, he too seemed greatly disturbed by Joshua's behavior and lack of emotion following the murder. The judge stated, quote, "This is an extraordinary case." He then went on to cite the brutality of the murder, the fact that Joshua joined in the search, the fact that he had a missing poster and murder weapons by his bedside, the use of air fresheners, and the fact that he watched porn right after, as evidence that Joshua was indeed deserving of the sentence he'd received years ago. The judge also stated that Joshua's detachment at the time gave him great concern, and he was not convinced that society would be safe if Joshua were set free.
So maybe, I'll give him the benefit of that. Maybe this did start as an accident, but his actions, I do believe,
Yes.
are why we're talking about him and what makes him a monster.
Like, how do you think he's going to handle other things in life if you're going to just jump straight to murder? It's not a good sign.
That's not how you hide things.
Definitely not. Now, as the judge went on to announce sentencing, he said, quote, "It is appropriate to impose a life sentence in a case that's a truly unusual case, irredeemable depravity, or the worst of the worst, or circumstances that are truly unique and different from the ordinary." He continued, "I believe this is one of the most rare and unusual crimes that warrants life in prison." Now, the judge put out a 31-page sentencing order and very clearly laid out his reasoning behind the sentence. He wrote, "The actions of the defendant in this case reflect characteristics not generally found in criminal behavior typical of juveniles. His actions were motivated by deviant, prurient intentions. He targeted a helpless victim and carefully planned his actions toward her. His actions in inflicting injuries, causing death, particularly in silencing Maddie Clifton by repeated stabbings after he had dismissed her as dead, as well as his cold and callous demeanor in hiding her decomposing body, represent a level of depravity that cannot be explained or attributed to immaturity, impetuosity, or recklessness, or headless risk-taking. The crime committed by the defendant is indeed the uncommon case that qualifies for a life sentence. Now, Joshua is now entitled to appeals, and due to recent state laws, his case is now automatically up for review in around 6 years. His mother intends to stand by him and file for appeals. Personally, I would have to agree with the judge. You guys can let us know your opinions on this case down in the comments if you'd like.
All right, thank you for listening to our part 1 of Mini Monsters. There's going to be another part coming out in about a week.
So you guys look forward to that.
They just get worse, but as
Yeah,
always,
they don't get better.
We want you to remember that
Monsters come in all shapes and sizes.
just because they're small and usually they're cute, children can also be monsters. Look for the signs. Let someone know. If you notice your kid
is doing weird things,
turn them in.
It may suck, but hey, you'll save somebody from dying. All right, and as always, be wary of the monsters out there.